Right now, as you sit here, there is one truth staring you in the face. You are living the life you've tolerated. Think about that. Not the life you dreamed of, not the life you hoped for, the life you've allowed to exist because of your standards. And let me tell you, if you're unhappy with where you are, it's not because you're incapable or unlucky. It's because you've accepted something less than what you truly deserve. But here's the good news that can change. Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. If you stay with me for the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. How to take back control of your life and rise to a level you never imagined possible. Your life is a direct reflection of the standards you set for yourself. Everything you experience, the quality of your relationships, your career, your health, your finances, is a result of what you've decided is acceptable or unacceptable in your life. Think about it, we all have a line we refuse to cross, a baseline of what we will or won't tolerate. That baseline, those standards shape the decisions we make, the actions we take, and ultimately the results we see. If you're not satisfied with where you are today, it's not because you lack the potential or the talent. It's because your standards have allowed you to settle. You've unconsciously said, this is enough. But here's the truth, where you are is not the limit of where you can go. It's simply the limit of what you've demanded of yourself so far. Standards define destiny. They are the invisible forces that govern the trajectory of your life. Raise your standards and you'll raise your outcomes. For example, if you decide that excellent health is non-negotiable, you won't tolerate skipping workouts or eating junk food consistently. If you set the standard that your relationships must be built on mutual respect and trust, you won't allow toxic people to take up space in your life. If you hold yourself to the highest standard of integrity in your work, success will follow because you'll deliver value that others can trust. But here's the secret: raising your standards isn't about setting lofty goals. It's about deciding what you will no longer accept in your life. It's about saying, this is not who I am anymore, and backing that decision with relentless action. The moment you draw a firm line in the sand, everything changes. It's not about what you hope will happen. It's about what you're committed to making happen no matter what. Most people stay stuck because they confuse standards with desires. They desire a better life, but they haven't raised their standards to demand it. They dream of success, but they don't hold themselves to the habits and behaviors that make it inevitable. Desire without standards is powerless. It's your standards that give your dreams a structure to become reality. When you decide that mediocrity is no longer an option, you'll find a way to rise. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will require sacrifice. But the discomfort of raising your standards is far less painful than the regret of living below your potential. Think of it this way: the pain of discipline weighs ounces, the pain of regret weighs tons. So what are you tolerating right now that's holding you back? What excuses have you been making? What have you been settling for that you know deep down isn't good enough? It's time to confront those questions because your future depends on it. Standards are not just rules, they are the foundation of who you are and who you are becoming. And the most powerful thing about standards is this: you have the power to change them anytime you decide. Right here, right now, you can draw that line in the sand. You can say no more. You can commit to demanding more of yourself, not because it's easy, but because you're worth it. Because the life you want, the life you deserve, starts the moment you decide to raise your standards. Settling for good enough guarantees mediocrity. It's an easy trap to fall into. We've all done it at some point in our lives. It's the mindset that says this is fine or it's better than nothing, even when you know deep down that you're capable of so much more. The problem with settling is that it becomes a habit. It's a quiet compromise, a slow erosion of your potential. You begin to accept less, not because you can't achieve more, but because it feels easier in the moment. And before you know it, that mindset becomes your default, leading you to a life of complacency and unrealized dreams. But here's the hard truth: good enough isn't good enough. Mediocrity is a silent killer of progress. It lulls you into a state of comfort where you stop striving, stop pushing, and stop growing. It's the opposite of what your potential demands. When you accept mediocrity, you stop reaching for excellence. And the dangerous part is that it feels like progress. You may be getting by, checking the boxes, meeting the bare minimum, but you're not truly living up to your potential. That's where most people end up, and it's why so many people find themselves stuck in a life they never intended to create. Think about how many times you've allowed yourself to settle. Maybe you've accepted a job that didn't excite you but paid the bills. Maybe you've stayed in a relationship that didn't fulfill you but felt familiar. Maybe you've let your health slide because the effort to change felt overwhelming. Every time you settle for less than you're capable of, you're not just giving up on the situation, you're giving up on yourself. You're telling yourself that you're not worth the effort it would take to create the life you truly want. And that's a dangerous message to send. The truth is, life doesn't reward good enough, it rewards those who refuse to settle, those who demand more of themselves, who push beyond their comfort zones and raise the bar every single day. Excellence isn't an accident. It's the result of continuous growth and an unwillingness to accept anything less than the best. People who achieve greatness don't settle. They get up every day with the belief that they are worthy of more and will do whatever it takes to make it happen. The challenge then is to break free from the habit of mediocrity. It's to refuse to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. The moment you stop settling is the moment your life begins to change. You'll start to see opportunities you never noticed before. You'll have more energy, more drive, and a deeper sense of purpose. Raising your standards and refusing to settle forces you to take action, to grow, and to make decisions that align with your highest vision for your life. It's time to stop telling yourself that good enough is enough. It's time to stop settling for less than you're capable of. You have the power to create a life that doesn't just meet your expectations, but exceeds them. And the only thing standing in your way is your willingness to demand more from yourself. The truth is, you're capable of greatness, but you'll only experience it when you stop accepting mediocrity and choose to rise above it. Your standards are intricately tied to your identity, how you see yourself, how you perceive your worth, and what you believe you are capable of achieving. If you view yourself as someone who deserves only the best, your standards will reflect that belief. If you see yourself as someone who is worthy of success, happiness, and abundance, you will naturally set higher expectations for your life and refuse to accept anything less. On the other hand, if you have doubts about your own value, if you question whether you deserve more, your standards will align with those self-limiting beliefs. You will settle for less than you're capable of, because deep down, you don't believe you are deserving of more. This is why identity plays such a crucial role in raising your standards. Your identity is the lens through which you view every decision you make, every opportunity you pursue, and every challenge you face. It defines your comfort zone and dictates what feels normal to you. So if you want to change your life, if you want to reach new heights and break free from old patterns, you must first transform your identity. When you believe that you are capable of greatness, your standards will naturally rise to meet that belief. Think about it, who you are at your core is not determined by your circumstances. It's not determined by the job you have, the amount of money in your bank account, or the title on your business card. Your true identity is shaped by your beliefs, your mindset, and your actions. If you constantly tell yourself that you are someone who settles for mediocrity, then that's who you will become. But if you tell yourself that you are someone who pursues excellence in everything, your standards will evolve to match that belief. This transformation in identity is not something that happens overnight, but it starts with one powerful decision to raise your self-worth. The moment you decide that you are worthy of more, that you are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment, everything changes. Your standards begin to shift. Suddenly, what was once acceptable is no longer enough. Your behavior changes. The choices you make, the people you surround yourself with, and the goals you set will all align with the higher version of yourself that you are becoming. Raising your standards means no longer allowing yourself to stay in environments that don't serve your growth. It means refusing to engage in behaviors that hold you back. It means demanding more from yourself because you know you're capable of achieving it. When you upgrade your identity, you automatically upgrade your life. You start showing up differently, thinking bigger, and making decisions that align with the highest vision of yourself. The key is to recognize that you have the power to decide who you are at any given moment. Your standards will rise when your identity shifts to match the person you are becoming. And when you elevate your identity, you will be amazed at the new possibilities that open up for you. The change starts within. The more you believe in your own worth and capacity, the higher your standards will become, and with that, your life will transform in ways you never thought possible. Dreams without standards are just wishes. They remain intangible, fragile hopes that are easily lost to distractions, fear, or complacency. Without a clear set of standards to support them, dreams lack the structure necessary to turn them into reality. You can dream of a better life, but if you don't have the standards that demand better from yourself every day, those dreams will fade into the background of your life, overshadowed by the urgency of the present moment. Too many people spend their lives wishing for something more, hoping for a breakthrough, but never take the consistent actions needed to make that breakthrough a reality. This is because while dreams can fuel your desire, it's your standards that shape your actions and guide you to success. Think about a time when you had a big dream. Maybe it was starting your own business, getting in shape, or achieving a personal goal. In the beginning, the dream was exciting, motivating, but as time passed, the novelty faded, and so did your drive. That's where standards come in. They provide the framework to keep you on track. They become the non-negotiable habits, routines, and principles that push you forward, even when the excitement of the dream wears off. Without standards, your dreams remain elusive, floating in the realm of possibility, but never turning into reality. But when you set high standards for yourself, those dreams no longer feel distant. They start to feel inevitable. Standards turn your dreams into a plan and your plan into action. They provide the discipline and structure needed to sustain momentum. Even when the initial excitement fades, they keep you moving forward when obstacles arise or when your motivation wanes. The reason standards are so powerful is that they align your day-to-day choices with your long-term aspirations. They are the rules you live by, the habits you consistently practice, and the actions you take in the face of challenges. If your standard is that you will work on your goal every single day, then no matter how you feel, you'll show up. It doesn't matter if you're tired, frustrated, or busy, your standard forces you to take action. And that action builds momentum over time. It's through this consistent effort that dreams transform into reality. But it's not just about taking action, it's about taking the right action. High standards help you prioritize what truly matters, ensuring that your energy is spent on activities that move you closer to your dreams. Without standards, it's easy to get caught up in the small, insignificant distractions that pull your attention in a million directions. With standards, you stay focused on the big picture and consistently work toward your highest goals. The key is to stop wishing and start demanding. You must demand more of yourself, more of your time, and more of your commitment. Dreaming is important, but without the structure that standards provide, those dreams will remain out of reach. When you set clear, non-negotiable standards for yourself, you give your dreams the foundation they need to grow into something tangible, something real. Standards are what turn wishes into results. Real transformation happens when the pain of staying the same exceeds the fear of change. Change is uncomfortable. It forces you to confront your current reality and step into the unknown. It's not easy. It challenges everything you've known and asks you to take risks, to leave behind the familiar, and to embrace uncertainty. But the pain of change, as daunting as it may seem, is often less intense than the pain of staying stuck in a life that no longer serves you. Too many people avoid change because they fear the discomfort it brings. They cling to the status quo, even when it's no longer fulfilling or aligned with their dreams. They tell themselves that they're happy enough, that things could be worse, or that they're too old, too tired, or too busy to make the effort. But in reality, what they are really doing is tolerating the pain of mediocrity. They are sacrificing their potential, their dreams, and their happiness for the illusion of comfort. The truth is, the longer you stay in a situation that doesn't serve you, the more painful it becomes. That job you hate, that relationship that drains you, that health condition you ignore, they all carry a cost. And while the discomfort of change may feel overwhelming at first, it pales in comparison to the long-term suffering that comes from avoiding it. The pain of staying the same eventually reaches a point where it becomes unbearable. The regret, frustration, and unhappiness that build up over time are far worse than the temporary discomfort of making a change. Change is not something that happens when things are easy. It happens when you hit a breaking point, when the pain of staying the same outweighs the fear of the unknown. It's when you reach a place where you're no longer willing to tolerate a life that doesn't match your potential. That's when you find the strength to take action, to make the changes necessary for your growth. The real key to transformation is making that shift in perspective, the moment when you stop tolerating the pain of stagnation and decide to face the discomfort of change head on. That decision is what propels you forward. It's the moment when you realize that the price of inaction is greater than the price of change. It's when you understand that the fear of the unknown is temporary, but the regret of not trying will last a lifetime. Think about your own life. Are you currently tolerating a situation that no longer serves you? Are you avoiding necessary change because you fear the discomfort that comes with it? The pain of staying the same will continue to grow until you make the decision to break free. And while the journey may be challenging, the rewards that come from pushing through the discomfort are immeasurable. The pain of growth, of change, of pushing beyond your limits will always be temporary. The joy of transformation, of creating a life that aligns with your highest potential, will last forever. When the fear of change is less painful than the pain of staying where you are, that's when real transformation happens. And once you've made that choice, once you've stepped into the discomfort, you'll realize that change isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. The transformation you seek is on the other side of that fear, and the growth you desire will only come when you face the challenge head on. Deciding to raise your standards is not just about setting goals or making promises to yourself. It's about making a commitment to no longer accept anything less than what you deserve. It's about drawing a line in the sand and declaring that you will not settle for mediocrity or complacency, no matter the obstacles or challenges that come your way. The power of commitment is that it transforms your mindset from one of possibility to one of inevitability. When you truly commit to something, everything changes. You stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or the perfect opportunity. You take action even when it's difficult, uncomfortable, or uncertain, because you have made the decision to move forward no matter what. Commitment is what turns intentions into results. You can dream about a better life, wish for success, or hope for a breakthrough, but without a firm commitment, those desires remain fantasies. A decision without commitment is just a wish of vague thought that lacks the power to drive real change. Commitment, on the other hand, is the fuel that turns dreams into reality. It's what gets you out of bed every morning, focused and determined, ready to take action toward your goals. Commitment isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily choice to show up, to do the work, and to keep moving forward, even when it feels hard or when you face setbacks. When you commit to something, you are telling yourself that no matter what, you will see it through. You are saying that your dreams, your goals, and your future are non-negotiable. This level of dedication changes your behavior. It shifts your mindset. You stop looking for excuses or justifications for why you can't do something. Instead, you focus on what you can control and take full responsibility for your actions. The power of commitment lies in your willingness to keep going, even when the road gets tough. It's about pushing past the discomfort, the doubts, and the fears that arise, knowing that your commitment to your vision is stronger than any temporary challenge. Commitment is also about resilience. It's about staying the course when things don't go as planned, when the results aren't immediate, and when the progress feels slow. Many people give up too soon because they expect instant results or immediate gratification. But commitment is about playing the long game. It's about understanding that growth takes time and setbacks are part of the journey. Every obstacle, every failure, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to strengthen your resolve. The more committed you are, the more resilient you become. You start to see setbacks as stepping stones, not roadblocks. You understand that true success comes not from avoiding failure, but from learning how to rise stronger each time you fall. When you make a commitment to raise your standards, you are choosing to act with purpose and consistency, no matter what. You are choosing to become the kind of person who does not waver, who does not let external circumstances dictate your behavior, and who refuses to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Commitment transforms your potential into reality, turning your dreams from mere wishes into accomplishments. And when you look back at the path you've walked, you will realize that it wasn't the challenges that defined you, it was your unwavering commitment to rise, to grow, and to become the best version of yourself.